The only place I am safe is here by your junk food.
While you might consider fast food to be an American thing, the big chains often inject local flavors into the menus outside our borders. So let's take a look at the top 15 world's strangest fast food and junk food.
It's actually a really great idea, and I can't believe it didn't exist before.
Pizza-sized burger. Burger King, Japan.
Burger. Bacon cheddar stuffed burger.
If you ever wanted to share your burger with your friends but you had too much of an appetite, then Burger King Japan had the solution. During the holiday season of 2011, you could share a merry 22-centimeter burger pizza monstrosity. Talk about big in Japan. Not only was this beast ridiculously huge, roughly the size of a 9-inch pan pizza, but it was also ridiculously high in calories. Go figure. It clocked in at 2,500 calories and was obviously extremely high in fat and salt content.
Oh my god, it looks like a huge…
For $22, you could order this pizza-sized burger in 2 varieties, fresh avocado or cheese nacho, which was cut into 4 wedges, ideal for sharing. The specialty burger demonstrates the culture of excess, all the while being marketed as the perfect centerpiece for your holiday meal.
Just in time for the holidays.
Dry pork and seaweed donut, Dunkin, China.
Hey, where'd these donuts come from?
When you think about donuts, the first thing that comes to mind is probably a colorful, sugary, candy-sprinkled dunker, or even a decadent chocolatey delight. Basically, donuts are associated with sugar, at least over here. In China, however, things are a little different.
Sugar-free donuts.
Introduced in the early 2010s, Dunkin's dry pork and seaweed donut was a huge hit and perceived as a perfect option for a morning snack. It's made with yeast dough, meaning it's as far away from the sweet side as possible. It's more like a filling breakfast bread topped with dried pork, sometimes called pork floss. It's not that strange per se, just way different than the sugar-coated treats that most of us are used to.
Have you guys seriously never heard of donuts?
Cat Pops, Pizza Hut, Middle East.
It's not pathetic. Avery brought me a Kit Kat bar.
I have a few.
Everybody likes to treat themselves to a little something sweet once in a while. Indulging in a chocolate treat is more than okay, especially the odd candy bar. Well, Pizza Hut might have taken this a little too literally when it came up with Kit Kat Pops. Released only in some markets in the Middle East in 2012, Kit Kat Pops were basically individual Kit Kats baked inside a sweet pizza dough. If we move past the rather weird fact that they were wrapped with pizza dough, they look pretty darn amazing.
I want to try it, Mark.
There is no doubt that a product like this would work well in a market like America. They look like they would be the best end-of-meal dessert, or even as a late afternoon snack. Pizza Hut obviously wanted its customers to have a break, maybe just not a traditional one.
Take the first ride.
Lucky Clover!
Emergency brake activated.
You broke it.
Take a quick second to show us some love and hit that like button. Thanks so much. PizzaMac, McDonald's, Germany.
Or pizza or burger. Whatever I can eat while driving.
Do you ever find yourself hesitating between getting a burger or a pizza? Well, do we have the news of the century for you? If you're willing to take a quick trip to Germany, you will never have to make that choice again. Well, sort of. McDonald's released the PizzaMac, the combination of 2 of the greatest fast food staples ever, pizza and a burger.
How's that even possible?
At first sight, it looks like a regular burger, but after a closer look, the pizza-like toppings come rushing out. The PizzaMac features a pizza bun, a double serving of beef patties, mozzarella cheese, onions, and a spicy tomato sauce. The crispy bun is the perfect imitation pizza crust, making this delicious item the best of both worlds. The real question is, how come this hasn't reached our menus yet? We like burgers, we like pizza, so what's the holdup?
Oh, we love McDonald's.
Nutella burger, McDonald's, Italy.
Have you got any Nutella?
Yeah.
As the motherland of Nutella, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Italy would use it in as many things as possible. However, there should always be some kind of limit. Rolled out in 2016, the McDonald's Nutella burger made every hazelnut chocolate lover stand up and take notice, and left others horrified. Don't get us wrong, Nutella is pretty delicious, but would you go as far as to put it on a burger? Probably not, but it seems like Italy found a way to make it work.
Just need to try it.
Rest assured, there is no burger patty in there, just a generous portion of hazelnut goodness spread in between traditional McDonald's hamburger buns. It is, though, served in the chain's traditional hamburger box, so we can see where there might be some confusion. The Nutella burger, or the Sweetie con Nutella, is a big hit in Italy, and we can't help but wonder if it will ever be a part of our McCafe menu.
Wait for you!
Hot wing and wasabi-flavored Oreo, China.
Chris, the way to eat an Oreo is to twist it, pull it apart, and lick it.
Everybody loves Oreos. I mean, who isn't a fan of the classic black and white cookies? While the original is perfectly fine on its own, the brand has seen fit to release some rather questionable varieties over the years, like in China, for instance. In 2018, these iconic cookies got a little more heat when 2 new flavors were released: hot chicken wing and wasabi.
No, wait, that's wasabi? Dude, are you okay?
I am feeling no discomfort.
These flavors may seem a wee bit off the wall, even for Oreo, but in China, they're all about innovation sensation. Rocking a bright orange shade of buffalo sauce and a light green wasabi color, these bold flavors are really big in China. And while we've had some wild flavors before, nothing truly compares to these. But the big question is, should you dunk these in milk or blue cheese dip? They are still cookies, after all.
Oreos. Man, I love those.
Pizzabon, Cinnabon USA.
What are you really guarding anyway? Cell phone covers and Cinnabon?
Okay, we can't talk about strange junk foods from around the world without mentioning 1 or 2 from right here, can we? You're probably all familiar with Cinnabon, and if not, let us introduce you to what this restaurant does best: cinnamon rolls. It makes these gooey, delicious rolls covered in sweet icing, and they're to die for. So why would a place that makes killer cinnamon rolls also make pizza? That's what we'd like to know.
Okay, let me tell you guys why we are here.
Back in 2012, Cinnabon wanted to take a shot at selling pizza, and it came in the form of the Pizzabon. It was a small snack-sized savory dough sprinkled with cheese, pepperoni, and pizza sauce, presented in the spiral shape of a cinnamon bun. However, the Pizzabon never really took off, as many people just couldn't get past the sweet reputation of the chain. If Cinnabon learned anything from this, it's stick to what you do best.
I learned my lesson.
Fish and chip Pringles, Singapore and Japan.
How many Pringles flavor stack combinations are there?
318,000.
We've already established that tastes differ from one country to another. For example, here we are suckers for cheese, ranch, and the delicious flavors of barbecue when snacking on crackers or chips. In Asia, fish seems to be a very big seller in pretty much every area, including the chips department. Pringles has never shied away from kooky flavors over the years, and recently, thanks to the Japanese palate, a new fish and chips flavor is going around. This unique limited edition passport flavor looks like it came straight out of Japan, but tastes like it came from London.
Boom.
They are described as having the perfect balance of tartar sauce and saltiness with the same delectable seafood taste so beloved in Japan. These crispy Pringles not only have a satisfying crunch, but also beautiful graphics printed on the tube to make the whole experience even more enjoyable.
Fish and chips.
Fat guys think we're a diet food.
Sweet taro pie, McDonald's Asia.
Stop.
When you go to McDonald's, you probably end your meal with a hot, familiar apple pie. Whether it's from a fast food restaurant or your grandma's kitchen, apple pie is always appreciated. And while here, apple is the go-to flavor for pie, across Asia, it's another filling that steals the show: taro.
Excuse me, Miss What's her name? What's that?
A starchy root vegetable. It only grows in the Pacific Islands and was originally cultivated in Asia, but is now enjoyed around the world. Many people say that the taro's flavor is pretty hard to describe. This purple tuber is very sweet, kind of nutty, and, well, very purple. The color might throw you off a little at first, but you quickly forget about it when the sweet chunks of taro take over. While we might not find the sweet taro pie in American McDonald's, there's no telling what the future holds.
Well, it was nice and a bit unusual meeting you.
Premium Berry Burger, Burger King Japan.
And get ready to taste my very special cranberries. Or Or should I say, Chanberry?
You might think you're adventurous in your burger topping selections, but no one does it like Japan. Back in 2014, Burger King Japan pushed the limits of what was acceptable to put on a bun and came out with a premium berry burger. Yes, this was exactly what it sounds like, a burger with a bunch of berries on it. As weird and unappetizing as it may sound for some, it was apparently surprisingly tasty.
Scrum-diddly-umptious.
Released as a holiday offering, the burger featured a Whopper patty topped with berries, soaked in sweet cranberry, blueberry, and blackberry sauce, along with the regular burger fixings. Available throughout the festive season, the premium berry burger was quite a hit. Never underestimate the power of combining fruit and savory foods. This one can join the Pineapples on Pizza Club.
I'm not sure I'm interested in that. No, I am sure. I am not interested in that.
Marmite Stuffed Pizza Crust, Pizza Hut, New Zealand.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust!
When it comes to weird pizza combinations, Pizza Hut New Zealand outdid itself, at least when it comes to traditional pizza toppings. You've heard of cheese stuffed pizza? Well, get ready for another kind of gooey stuffed crust, Marmite. In 2014, Pizza Hut released a Marmite stuffed pizza crust, and for fans of the stuff, it was one heck of a treat.
What is the black thing?
Also called Vegemite, Marmite is the sludge that's left at the bottom of a barrel after a beer is brewed. While it doesn't contain alcohol, it does have a salty taste and a thick texture, which not everyone enjoys. It's basically a liquid yeast that's just oozing out of your pizza crust. Again, it's not for everyone. Marmite is also a rather divisive food. You either love it or you hate it. There doesn't seem to be much in between. To find out which side of the fence you land on, you'll just have to try it.
When you got bread and Vegemite, you got yourself a meal.
Pumpkin spice fries, McDonald's, Japan.
And it's pumpkin-shaped, like a pumpkin!
The frenzy around all things pumpkin spice has been crazy over the last few years. As the unofficial flavor of autumn, anything can be made with pumpkin spice. No, seriously, anything.
Pumpkin bread, pumpkin soup, pumpkin quesadilla.
McDonald's even went as far as creating pumpkin spice fries. Well, in Japan at least. This Halloween-themed menu item is rightfully called Halloween Choco Potato Fries, and to be honest, they do look kinda spooky. They're just fries drizzled with a generous amount of orange pumpkin spice and darkish chocolate sauce. The only chocolate version had been released earlier in 2016, but McDonald's Japan wanted to take things even further by adding a little seasonal color to the mix. So if you're a fan of chocolate, pumpkin, and fries, then there's no reason why you wouldn't be crazy about this McD's offering. Or is there?
Hey, it's raining fries.
Cheeseburger-Stuffed Crust, Pizza Hut, Australia.
Crust first.
Here's another crazy pizza crust stuffing that you wouldn't expect to find, the Cheeseburger-Stuffed Crust from Pizza Hut, Australia. This giant, tasty beast first debuted in the Middle East before making its way to the UK, only to inevitably end up on the Australian menu. Pizza Hut went above and beyond to merge two of the best fast food items into one impressive offering.
Can I have a cheeseburger? Cheeseburger? Sure.
10 mini cheeseburgers are embedded into the crust, making this pizza clock in at approximately 3,000 calories. Needless to say, this is not the definition of a light lunch. As much as the cheeseburger-stuffed crust pizza sounds like a food fantasy come true, it's also a grease and health hazard, so be warned. Chizza, KFC Philippines.
When chicken meets pizza, baby, KFC Chizza.
Fast food joints really seem to like coming up with new iconic items by combining two delicious classics together. Take KFC, for instance. They decided to mix together the goodness of pizza and the comforting taste of fried chicken and created the Chizza back in 2015 in the Philippines. How does it work exactly? Well, KFC simply replaced the pizza dough with a delicious piece of fried chicken, added a tangy tomato sauce, some cheese, pineapple, and voila! You have got yourself a tasty Chizza.
Original.
The Chizza was such a success that KFC later introduced it to other countries like India and Thailand, and it ended up finding a lot of success throughout Asia. While some people may ask why, KFC asked why not, and went on to release this new take on pizza we wish we could find here.
The only pizza you'll be having is chicken and broccoli pizza without the crust.
Salted egg yolk loaded fries. McDonald's, Singapore.
There's an egg on your head and the yolk is running down.
As you've probably noticed by now, McDonald's can look pretty different depending on where you are in the world, especially in Asia. Now that you've seen the pumpkin spice fries, it's time to introduce you to another unique fry offering, the salted egg yolk loaded fries from McD's Singapore. It might seem a little strange at first to eat fries with, well, egg yolk, but as it turns out, the gloopy light yellow sauce is a real treat. The loaded fries have plenty of creamy richness and a tangy flavor of buttery salted egg. Earlier in 2016, McDonald's Singapore released a salted egg yolk chicken burger that didn't exactly gather a lot of positive reviews. But with the fries, it was a whole different story, mostly because of a new and improved version of the egg yolk sauce used on the fries. Even though you might not be screaming to try this McD's treasure, it's the perfect choice if you want to snack on some uniquely flavored fries.
It was a little rare for my taste.
We've got more. Just tap or click for another great video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. And hey, leave us a comment.